Fanthorpe, and I am joined by a number of folks here today. We've got Jason Tiller from Rocketspark, Aidan, Lett and Paul. It's Bickley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. From GoGenerosity. And we're going to dive into how to give back and grow your business. I know that a lot of our Digital Boost users are really caring and giving people and would like to know how to infuse this into the way that they do business. And GoGenerosity is a great tool for that. They've linked up with Rocketspark. And so we wanted to pull everybody together to give you the best overview of how this all can work for you. So as a little bit of a reminder, you can make your questions known to these great presenters today by using the comment section, the Q&A section, or the chat function, depending on what platform you're streaming from. Do get your questions answered. I do float from platform to platform, and I will drop your questions in from, say, Facebook here with us on Zoom. So that's it from me. I might let you guys drive while I make sure all the chats are set up so that folks can participate. Are you guys ready to go? Thanks for joining us.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Okay. I'll let you drive.
Just let this, hope the technology works.
We did a pretty good practice before.
Yeah.
Like riding a bike.
Yeah. How's that, team? Can you see that?
No, not yet.
Nope.
We've got to click the share
Don't worry,
button.
we did check this before, so I'm not too stressed.
There we go.
There we go.
it is.
All right, now we're cooking with fire.
Success. Yeah, thanks so much for having us today, Anna Marie. We're so glad to be here. We love what you guys are doing, to help businesses boost themselves through marvelous digital tools. As a way of background, Paul and I have a background in the software game for many years, and we're sort of passionate about how digital tools can really help a business grow. However, GoGenerosity is not all about not just about the digital stuff. We're actually more about the purpose. So we'll share with you guys more about that right now. Obviously, today's purpose is all about how to grow your business. Oh, sorry, guys. Hang on. There we go. Is all about how to give back and grow your business at the same time. So how can we actually make giving part of your business and infused into your business, as Anna Marie said. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Why does purpose matter? I think we all inherently understand that it matters as human beings, but it probably matters more than ever right now. The COVID-19 pandemic has really sort of heightened, awareness and thinking around purpose. We have a whole lot of people who are doing it tough in our local community here in Tauranga. We've seen a 50% increase in people that are going in to get weekly meals served to them. Seen our local schools, some of them higher decile, having their food freezers empty because people even in the higher decile parts of town are still doing it tough. So that is where GoGenerosity was really sparked. My co-founder and our CEO Rowan owns a number of restaurants, and at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, he was just wondering, A, how he's going to keep his business afloat, but B, how is he actually going to keep doing good, especially given there was so much more need in the local community. And so he'll he'll tell you that he was kind of just in the shower and had a blinding flash and went, oh, maybe I could just involve my customers in helping me to pay it forward to those in need, so that it was both meeting the need in the local community, but also sustainable for me as a business. And I think that's the thing that really matters to us most, is that this is a sustainable action and sustainable activity. It's not a one-off, it's not a campaign that just comes and goes. And it's also something that your business can do in a way that's affordable, because it's tougher than ever to run a small business or a large business in New Zealand. So that's really important for us. We started our mission to make sure that it was good for the community, but also good for you guys in your business and helps you grow, and hence today's topic. There's some stats now around just how important purpose is. An amazing company out of New York called Zeno has done a strength of purpose study across a large number of people across the world, really focusing on consumers and helping to understand what does purpose actually mean to them? How does that have an impact on their buying decisions? And we've seen some amazing stats come out of that you can see here. Consumers have said they're 4 times more likely to purchase from a brand that has authentic purpose, 6 times more likely to protect that brand in a challenging moment. So, maybe they're getting a bit of heat online for something that people don't agree with. Their consumers will actually come to their protection, come to do battle with them online, which is pretty awesome. 4.5 times more likely to recommend the brand to friends and family. And we all know that word of mouth is everything these days, not only in person, but it's heightened by social media channels and things like that. So word of mouth is everything. So if you can create better word of mouth, then that helps your business to grow. And then 4.1 times more likely to trust a brand. And so one of the things for us about all of this is that, through clever marketing strategy and a lot of money, bigger businesses are able to do a lot of this stuff. Although baking an authentic purpose can be more challenging for them sometimes. But how do smaller businesses also get access to tools that can enable them to actually build a brand and build something that has an authentic story of purpose? And so that's really been one of our key drivers is to help the smaller businesses in New Zealand and hopefully around the world. We have a big mission. Ultimately, we want to see 100 million lives changed each year by 2031. So in the next 9 years, we're going to have to do an awful lot of good work around the world with people like yourselves to pay it forward to those in the local community and see lives changed. And we'll tell you about exactly how we do that soon. But yeah, as I just said, this is going to be outworked by helping businesses like yours to give back and also grow at the same time. So that's really important for us, just to reiterate that same point, that it's not only about giving back, but it's also about doing it sustainably and in a way that helps your business to be successful and grow at the same time. So we'll just play this little video for you guys, which just helps you to get a very, very clear and easy understanding of exactly how GoGenerosity works.
Is there supposed to be sound?
Yep. How's that?
Yeah, maybe a bit louder.
Small amounts more often.
I would maybe pause it and restart, actually.
Okay, cool.
Every little bit counts.
And if you can make it even louder than that, that would be great.
We can.
We'll just change the, if you change the audio to the laptop.
Fantastic. Oh.
We'll just change that. Bear with us one moment.
I don't know if I can, bro, because I'm stuck on the screen, remember?
Oh, yeah.
No, just need to put the TV up. All right, let's try that again, eh? Thanks for bearing with us, team.
Oh, no, these things always happen with videos.
Me too.
There we go.
Kiwis have always been a generous bunch. Now, it's easy to be generous in small amounts more often. Simply shop at your favourite local stores, choose an amount. Every little bit counts. Tell the team your chosen amount. The business collects your little bit and adds it together with everyone else's little bit to produce food or clothing or whatever goods or services they normally produce. So charities and local people in need get access to the goods and services they need to thrive. Together, we're paying it forward for a better future.
Right, so hopefully that gives you guys a pretty good understanding of exactly how GoGenerosity works.
You know what I'd love, if you don't mind, if we could drop the link to this video wherever it sits into the chat, and then folks can have a watch of it as well. Some of the sound, might be a little bit better that way, and I think it would be good to rewatch it at our
Yeah,
leisure.
I can pop that link in the chat. And,
Thanks so much. That'd be great.
Cool. And yeah, we'll chuck any links to anything else that's relevant, like our website and stuff, in there before the end of the call. But just to reiterate that, guys, it's really, really easy, and that is the point. This is about making generosity easy. A customer comes into your business. They're made aware of GoGenerosity and the fact that you're partnering with us through a bunch of collateral, which we'll talk to soon. They choose an amount, so it doesn't matter how much it is. Could be 10 cents, could be $10, could be whatever amount they like. And they add that to their bill, whether they're paying you online or whether they're paying you at your point of sale. And you, as the business partner, you pull all of those little bits of money together, and then you turn those into whatever goods and services you normally produce. And then those goods and services are paid forward to a local charity. Now, that local charity comes in and picks those things up. That's all coordinated and taken care of by us, because we all know it's hard enough for you guys running a business. You've got lots of things to do, so it's our job to take care of all that stuff. And then those goods and services, whether it's clothing, food, or whatever it is taken to those in need. Now, when we talk about those in need, that's always local. So it's 5 minutes down the road, 10 minutes down the road. It's really important that this is a local ecosystem. And then most importantly, we make sure that it's clear to you and your generous customers exactly where their money and your goods and services have gone and how it makes a difference to those people. So we actually share back stories of generosity to you guys. And that these are some of the things that are just really critical and sort of points of difference to what we do compared to, say, some of the other schemes that exist out there. Who do we do this for right now? We do it for lots of people, predominantly in the Bay of Plenty. We're still a fairly young organisation, but we're now just sort of starting to expand around to different parts of New Zealand. But as the slide demonstrates, we can do it for lots of different types of businesses. So we have Z Energy who are paying forward fuel. They do that mainly for breast cancer patients who have a whole bunch of added costs and less income, who need fuel to get from home to their many, many treatments that they have. We have the kids store, who's the local kids store. They pay forward clothing to kids in need. We have Features Inc., who do beauty treatments, so they've been paying for some facials and things like that. We've had some beautiful stories come out from their business. We have Average Joes who do surf lessons, and we have Brooklyn that do food. We have dentists. We have a whole bunch of different people. So the great thing is that GoGenerosity can be used across any type of business. So if you guys are kind of wondering, thinking about how could that work with my business, there's every chance that it could, and our team would be happy to sort of talk you through how that might actually work. So I think, we've got a short amount of time today. We want to boil it down to the nitty gritty, like what do our partners actually love most about dealing with us and being able to make generosity easy. I think the one thing that comes up most of the time, and firstly, is always that 100% of the money is going where it's needed, and it's actually amplified as it goes along. So if your customers pay forward $1 and your business contributes, another 30 cents or whatever it is you want to contribute to it, then the money grows as it goes through. So there's nothing being lost in admin fees or anything along the way. It's goods and services that are paid for. That's really, really important. There's a whole bunch of reasons why that matters and is better than paying forward money, which we won't go into today because we'll be here forever. But it's really critical for your business and for charities that is the way that it works. And it's really important to note here too that the charities that are receiving the goods and services are those of your choice. So either ones you're already passionate about or from a list that we provide you. And as we said before, transparency, we let you know who you've helped and how it's actually made a difference, which is then useful for your own marketing channels and customer engagement and things. And then because this is basically the same as a sale coming through your business, the money is actually treated as revenue through your books. So if you were to go to sell your business in the future, any GoGenerosity money that's coming through is just treated like a normal sale. And so that provides you with some added benefits there as well, and less complexity from a tax and accounting perspective. And ultimately, it's sustainable. Our business partners love the fact that they'll be able to do this for 5 years, 10 years, and it's not just one little campaign in a short period of time. And they get to bring their customers on that same journey. So here's a couple of little quotes from some of our awesome partners. And the bottom one here is someone that you guys will recognize because he's sitting on the call here with us. The Rocketspark team have been on the journey with us from very early on and been super supportive. I think, it's a lot of it to do with our values really aligning in terms of wanting to do good in the community. And specifically for us with Rocketspark, it's about getting digital help to small businesses to see them thrive in an age where that's super important. So I'll pass over to Jace.
Awesome. Thanks, team. Thanks for the introduction. So yeah, you've probably all been wondering who's this random dude sitting in on this call? What's he got to do with any of this? But there you go. So we've been very lucky to be very early in the journey with the GoGenerosity team. And for us, and Aidan said this, is it aligns with a lot of our values. So we're a website platform. We have thousands of customers in New Zealand that use Rocketspark to have websites for their small businesses, whether they're just sort of brochure websites, service-based websites, or e-commerce sites. And so for us, we also sponsor, I think, about 500 or 600 not-for-profit sites for community clubs, organizations. I think my favorite one, and Anna Murray will love this, is it's a collective of grandmas in Cambridge that knit little octopuses for premature babies. It's awesome. So it's called Octopus for a Preemie. If you're interested, go and check them out and definitely donate because they do beautiful work. So it's just these little octopuses that they knit. It's very, very cool. So it's been really neat to be on the journey with a lot of these organizations, but as any business will attest to, we also need to make sure that what we're doing is sustainable. So for us, partnering with GoGenerosity means that we will be able to help fund the love and the support that we're given to our community into the future. And it's awesome. And then so for our customers, we're also going to be looking to get as many of our customers on board as well, because we have, like I said, we've got thousands of customers across New Zealand who want to be able to do good in their community, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to get on board with it. And GoGenerosity make giving back much, much easier. But the thing that they do, which really sets GoGenerosity apart, is the marketing stuff that they do for you. And I know the boys are going to talk to you about that very shortly, but it's so much more powerful when someone talks about the good that you're doing than when you talk about the good that you're doing. No one likes to brag at a party, but if you're at a party and someone's talking about the good that you're doing, it's a much more impactful way, I think, to be able to communicate that. So that's why I'm here, just supporting the guys, loving the work that they're doing, and yeah, would love to see them be able to do more. So thanks very much.
Thanks, Jace.
So good, man. So good. So it's pretty cool to, as we shared before, there's lots of different ways that this can be used. And one of the exciting ways for us is to help New Zealand small businesses and charities get digital help via Rocketspark. We love their platform, love what they're doing, and look forward to growing together. So thanks so much, Jace, for your support and being here today. Just to quickly run everyone through kind of, what the benefits are. How do we actually enable you to give and to be generous and grow your business at the same time? What are the actual key points? And then what are the tools that we give you to do that? So obviously the point is to make generosity easy. There is no reason why a business couldn't do all of the stuff themselves. There's no reason why. You've seen pay it forward schemes in your local coffee shop. You've seen them in various places around the world and around our country, but the reality is actually a lot of work. You got to be able to tell your customers that you're doing it, so you need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to make it transparent so they can see where their money's going. You need to make it easy to account, and then ideally you want to actually make sure that those goods and services or that money is going where it needs to go. So there's a lot of work in that, especially when you're already busy, just trying to keep your head above water and grow your business or the operational things you've got to do. So we've basically packaged everything up to make sure that it's you can do all these things without any hassle. And as Jason said, it's really powerful when a third party tells your story for you. Most importantly, and this is the thing that matters above all of the marketing stuff, that's just kind of like a nice consequence of this piece, but it's about making a difference in our local community. That is why we exist. Whenever we're making any decision in our business, it's through that filter. Will this help us to make more difference? Yes or no. If it does, then we'll do it. If it doesn't, we won't do it. So it's really important that that remains a focus in sort of our relationship. And that's the question we're already asking. How can we help our business partners to actually make more of a difference? What that then does is it connects you to a local story of I guess, giving back and purpose, which is super exciting. You'll see a photo here, which is one of our business partners, Amelia. She has a business called Features Inc. From day one, they've been on board with what we're doing and have been able to pay forward a bunch of beauty treatments and massages and things like that. Initially, I think some people that were in our world were like, well, why are you doing that? You know, food and clothing and housing are the things that matter most. And what we really learned early on is that experiences that elevate someone's sense of dignity and build their confidence are actually just as important as the food and the clothing and the housing, which we do too. But these other things, they have a mental and they have massive mental benefit. So one of the stories that came from her business was a lady who had been homeless for some time, was able to go in and just rest for an hour and get a beauty treatment and get a facial and all these sorts of things. And she said after that treatment, she said, this is the first time that anyone's ever touched me in a healthy way in my life. And that was pretty, confronting for our team, pretty emotional. You just don't always know what's going on in someone's world and what their context is. She also shared that she came out of that treatment feeling like she was just as important as anyone else because she'd been treated that way, and she had a new confidence to go out and start sort of trying to better her journey. So that kind of stuff is really exciting to us. It's helping people survive, but then also thrive as well. We really want to see people to grow in their confidence and feel like they're an equal part of society. So there's a lot of ways that we can use the platform. Through telling an awesome story of generosity and purpose, that it helps you to attract new customers. And we shared some of those stats earlier on about, how consumers are now seeing these things. And it also helps you to engage your existing customers. I think, Jace, you touched on it, when you're able to bring your customers along on the journey with you, and it's your generosity together, that's distinctly different from you saying we donated $100 to Kids Can, which is still great, but this is just this is a more engaging way of doing things.
And I think too, Aidan, the thing I like about what you offer is the locality of it. Being able to make an impact in your own community is really really valuable and really important. Because Kids Can, lovely, but who knows where it actually goes? Whereas, you can be walking down the street and walk past somebody that you've helped. So I think that's cool.
That's exactly right, man. And see a story of, from a family who can sort of help you to understand why it made their life better. I think that stuff's super, super powerful. What we've also seen, and this is probably equal to the customer side, is the staff engagement. Because quite often it's fairly difficult as a team member in a business to stay aligned to a purpose and feel intrinsically driven by that when you're doing a job. And we've really seen that having that added sense of purpose every day for our customers, team members, has made a big difference. And that's probably one of the strongest pieces of feedback we've had, is that, hey, look, thank you for just, making my hospitality job that much more meaningful. Every day I get to come in and be part of making a difference.
Yeah, and I think, when Rowan first started, came up with the concept of GoGenerosity and his businesses, he's got a number of restaurants, and now the teams get together on a Thursday, they make a bunch of meals and they hand them off to Laura at Under the Stars, and, they go straight to people in need, and just that morale, and they're not just making food for the customers out the back, they're actually sending meals out to have a real impact.
Yeah. And the great thing about that is all just part of their normal business operations. So there's no added processes or systems to make that, to add complexity, which is neat. So how do we enable this to happen? We've built a bunch of tools that help make all of this easy for you guys. The first part is, how do we communicate that story? How do we tell people that you are doing this thing called GoGenerosity and help them to understand what that means? So we have a bunch of in-store collateral, and if you have an online store as well, we've got obviously tools that you can use on your website as well. We give you a marketplace listing inside our website. We get currently sort of between 2,000 and 5,000 visitors a month. Most of them are going to this page to find out, where can I be generous? Where can I be part of GoGenerosity? So that helps to amplify and build your profile. Obviously, we take care of the distribution side of things. The value proposition to you is to make generosity easy, and that's exactly what we focus on, is how do we actually coordinate all of these goods and services going to where they need, and then make sure the stories are coming back to you guys, and that's clearly communicated. We do things like supplying your web content. So if you said, hey, I've got a website, I'd just love to add a small amount of generosity, or a small amount of content to my site to share the story and tell everyone what I'm up to. We enable you though with all of those tools. And then if you're really passionate about the thing and you want to invest a little bit more into it, we can build custom landing pages for you as well to tell your story. There's an example one here. We have a new FPOS integration with WinCave. So if you are a retailer or a shop that has WinCave enabled, there's now a simple pay it forward mechanism via their FPOS tools, which just ask the question for the customer, do you want to pay it forward? And they can just hit yes or no and then add their amount. So for us, that's been super exciting. We've seen with our test customers that it's kind of like 5x'd their pay it forward donations, which is really exciting for us, to the point where we're now going, okay, how do we keep up with demand? Because there is just so much money coming through those partners. So that's a really exciting problem for us to have, to have so much food and clothing being supplied that we're just working really, really hard to keep up with it, to get it to those that need it. And as we've touched on many times, we obviously create content for you to be able to share back to your customers. You've got to be able to tell that, if you've asked people to be part of it, how do you tell that story back to them? Well, you need content that you can actually use through your social channels or newsletters or whatever mechanism you like. We also give you your own mechanism for doing this as well. So when you sign up to GoGenerosity, you get your very own custom dashboard, which you can see an example of here. So it says, how much have you paid forward? How much of that was via your customers? How many people have you impacted? What are the stories associated to that? So we actually feed the stories back into your feed here so that you can share this link with your customers and they can see what you're up to. Obviously, the stats are really important, both financially, but also impact. You can toggle through your year and monthly view to show people they can see how, what's your total effort and what have you done this month. And you can also showcase those charities that you're working with. We've seen this as a key part of the consumer mentality, I guess, is they love charity is something that New Zealanders do love, and they want to know that you're associated to some local ones or who you're associated to. There's so much more to these dashboards. Today's not about telling you guys everything. It's purely just to say, hey, this is what we're doing. And then if you're interested, you can get in touch with our team and we'll tell you more. That's enough from us. We've been talking rapid fire for a good 20 odd minutes now. it'd be cool to have some time for some Q&A, and then obviously we can share details of how you can get in touch with our team.
Can't tell you how much this stuff makes my heart sing. Honestly, I got goosebumps hearing about that lady's story. It's so true. When you meet people, I used to work in the youth sector for quite a while, and just little acts of kindness go such a long way. And often we forget how important things like touch are to humans. I mean, I guess we've really experienced that over the past year, where so many people were isolated due to restrictions. But that was probably the first time some folks had experienced that in their life, whereas there's some people out there who experience that on a daily basis and have so for quite a long time. So that was a really touching story there. And I think the work that you guys do is just, it's just so important, so beautiful. And what a wonderful thing to have a focus of in your life, to building this business or this platform that just helps so many people. So, we're really grateful to you here at Digital Boost. And I know I can speak for like the whole team, just saying, good on you guys for coming up with this idea and pushing it forward, because it's something that I think Aotearoa can really wrap around. And so I was very excited to feature you guys here. Now I'm going to jump through. We do have quite a lot of people watching on our social media platforms, so it's kind of the trend currently. So I'm just going to drop out to make sure that those questions are being answered. If we could get that link to that little information video into the chat, make sure it goes to everyone, that would be great. I've also dropped in a link to the Octopal website, because that was just precious. And I took a quick look at their website, and the ideas behind it are, science-based or what have you, but, what they're actually doing. What a beautiful idea. How lovely.
So cool.
Yeah, really, really cool. Now the LinkedIn is all over the shop for some reason. So I'm on multiple platforms. I can see people when they're watching. So if you've got a question, do pop it in. I should be able to see it. And yeah, and I'm just having a look on that Facebook. Everyone's just watching intently, but there's not really any questions dropping into the chat. Okay, cool. There's that link. Oh, okay. So they just go to the main website. Is that what?
Yeah,
that'll be the easiest way.
It's on the homepage. If you scroll down about a third, it's right there.
Okay, because I'll just drop that into the other sites.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So just a bit more around the process there, fellas. So when someone comes into say I'm a restaurant, and someone comes into my restaurant and they add $10 onto their bill, what happens to that $10, and how do I use that $10 to do good?
Yeah, really good question, and that's something we often get asked. And so that amount that you pay it forward at the point of sale, that you've added to your bill after your customers had a great meal, Jason, you as the restaurant owner hold on to that $10, and you pull all of your pay it forward amounts until such a time where you feel you've got enough enough money there that you can use all of those pay it forward amounts to pay for the ingredients that you might use to make your meals or your burgers or whatever your restaurant produces. And so it's about using the generosity of your customers to make the services or goods that you would regularly sell, being burgers or meals. And then those meals are picked up by your charity partner and distributed to the people in need.
Cool. So it's not like that $10 goes straight to the Salvation Army. Once I've kind of processed it, I can hang on to it and go, right, I've got $1,000 here. I can actually make 100 meals. That's what I'm going to do with it. Oh, hello, charity partner, local to me. It might be like a women's shelter or something along those lines, and then I can, give them all a nice meal for a night or something along those lines.
Yeah, some interesting sort of call outs there, Jace. I think you said, I've got $1,000. You choose how many meals you want to make with that $1,000. It's completely up to you as the business partner, what you can afford to do, because there'll be times when actually you need to put that through at retail, because, you might have been level 3 lockdown. Business has been really, really difficult. Or you're in a position where you can contribute to that. So you say, well, the cost of me making a meal is $10. Therefore, I'm going to put this through at cost. It's totally the business partner's choice in how they do that. And choice is an important word too when it comes to the charity partners, because sometimes you have so many meals that you might need to have 3 or 4 different charity partners that you're working with. You got the restaurant owner, Jason's restaurant, would simply just let us know, hey guys, I've got 20 meals that are ready to go. Our team makes the rest of that happen. We go, hey, these 3 charities are coming in to pick that up. Is that all good? What's the day and time? This is the day and time. Cool. Everyone's coordinated, and that all just happens seamlessly.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think one other point to touch on there with like the whole process is that this isn't about you as a business owner asking your customers for a donation or a pay it forward amount at point of sale. We all know that when you get asked, there's fatigue, and after a while it becomes a bit old. Aidan and his marketing team, they're a brilliant bunch of people. They've done a lot of work around the consumer education piece, and so what we're about doing is driving the awareness that this business is a part of the GoGenerosity platform in the community, and that you can be generous as a consumer at that business. We're never asking for you to be generous at the point of sale. You're not getting bugged by a sales assistant or someone. It's always about people being generous themselves and knowing that they can do that and take that act of generosity at the business.
Making that their choice.
That's right. And then so that's a product-based business. What if I'm a lawyer and I want to add 10% onto my biggest client's legal fees? Is that possible too?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got a few service businesses on board, and there's a couple of ways that they manage it depending on the type of business, but often they'll have conversations as a business and go, we are purpose driven, and we want to make GoGenerosity our tool to help us meet the need in the community through charities. And so they will look at taking a percentage of each of their invoices and putting it towards GoGenerosity, but also at the same time messaging that to their customer base saying, hey, this is what we're doing. Do you want to be involved? And do you want to pay it forward on top of your invoice as well? Other people look at going 1% to GoGenerosity, and they push that out through that mechanism as well.
And there's kind of 2 streams for that too, Jason. Let's use a lawyer as an example, because we do have one on a platform, fairly large one. For them, paying for legal services actually wasn't the most efficient and effective thing for them to do. So what we developed for those larger corporate businesses who maybe don't have a product or service that's suitable, we developed a corporate model. And so they're able to pay forward money to us. We then distribute that amongst all of these other businesses. So good example again is the kids store, who are a kids clothing company. They provide kids clothing to families that are in women's refuge. Part of the donations or the pay it forwards that have actually contributed to paying for this clothing have also come from a corporate partner, which is Holland Beckett Law up the road here in Tauranga. Holland Beckett had simply just paid forward some money. We've distributed that to the kids store for them to use towards clothing. And we don't touch that money on the way through. Still 100% of that money that's coming from Holland Beckett is getting to the kids store and getting to where it's needed most. So yeah, really good question.
Yeah, and it's awesome because what happens is you have the consumer being generous, and then you have a corporate partner or Holland Beckett being generous. And then on the other side of it, Kids Store, they're an incredibly generous company themselves, and they've gone and run some internal staff competitions. And I think last year, 1 month, they invited in 16 families from Women's Refuge, and they literally brought these kids in with their families and said, hey, can you please clothe, we've got a whole lot of budget here, let's clothe these kids. And, ordinarily these families couldn't afford to even shop at Kmart, let alone a great clothing store that's, giving really good quality clothes.
This whole talk makes me speechless. And that's saying something, but I do want to ask as well, so you connect on the back end. Say you wanted to, like I was thinking about some ideas how this could be really cool for somebody, say they worked in marketing or something and they charged some of their bigger clients for marketing things, and then you wanted to give that away as a gift to somebody of your choosing. Can you do that, or does it have to go through you in order to redistribute the funds?
No, so in that context, it's pretty important to include the charity partner in identifying who the person in need is, because that's often very tricky for the business.
Mm-hmm.
However, and this is a really good example with Rocketspark, a number of their design partners who are on our platform, they have charities or purpose-driven organizations that they want to support with some digital services, and they're able to go and just organize that themselves. We're obviously a part of the communication and part of helping them to organize it and make sure it all works. But there's no reason why in that circumstance that it's about who's deserving, right? Like that could be a charity, it could be a purpose-driven organization or a young startup who's doing it tough. There's no reason why we can't pay it forward to those people too.
Oh, because I think that's a really nice benefit. Say you were a really epic graphic designer or something like that, and you can't really afford to work for free, yourself, because possibly you're an SME. Yeah, that's right. And then you accrue all these funds from some of your bigger clients, and then throughout the year, and then maybe you help somebody out who you wouldn't normally be able to afford your services. That would be a really cool benefit as well. To be able to put forward. I love this. So I feel like we've nutted everything out. I feel like we've given a really good overview of what this is. Your contact details are here. We know that Rocketspark is a Digital Alliance member as well. They're very much entrenched in the Digital Boost experience and user journey. Their team is always standing by and will literally have conversations with you on the phone about things that you might need as far as a website or a rebrand or what have you. And one of the things, I'm just going to give a little plug right now. One of the things that I really love about working with these guys is that they do hire a lot of freelance. So they work with people in the community. It's not like offshore folks that are like getting all of this business. You'll be working with Kiwis. So that's a really nice part here, and that's why I can see the ethos or like the whole brand of GoGenerosity links really well with Rocketspark in that sense. So it does make a lot of sense that you guys are partnered together, in my opinion. Not that it matters, but got
your endorsement. Nice.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you all for joining us here today, and all the folks that were tuning in online, because it was quite verbose on the other platforms. If you have questions, contact these guys, contact Rocketspark, or if you'd like to run through some stuff with us here at Digital Boost, contact support at digitalboost.co.nz. You can always reach us on the website using the Contact Us button, and we can even call you on the phone. We do that as well. So take advantage, and our support team will get back to you in approximately 15 minutes. So it's not like you have to wait, or we can arrange something at a time that works for you. Our support staff, I think, works till 7 p.m. So we can work after hours and make things happen. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us here today on Digital Boost. This was heartfelt, but also informative, and I'm really excited about where you guys are all going. So thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, Anna Marie.
Love your work.
No pleasure.